Welcome back everyone to my channel. Today we've be taking a look at why you should never mess with a goose. These birds can be incredibly vicious if they feel threatened, or if they feel that their young are being threatened. And in this video, we'll take a look at a few different situations where people learned this lesson the hard way. Our first story comes from South Carolina, where these Canada geese had made a nest near a walking path. And one day a guy decided to go over and try to take a look at the eggs. But what he didn't realize was that Mama Goose was very protective of her nest. And when she started honking, it attracted the attention of every other goose in the park, and they all started to gather around and mob this guy. He ran off as fast as he could, and I don't blame him. There were literally dozens of geese attacking him, and in his effort to get away, he actually fell into the water. But the geese weren't done with him yet. They followed him into the water and continued to attack him until he finally got out of there. After this guy's experience, I don't think he's going to be going anywhere near a goose nest anytime soon. Canada geese are not the only geese that you need to be careful around. In this next story, we'll see how some swimmers learned the hard way that you should never mess with a goose, no matter what kind of goose it is. These geese had decided to make their home on a small island in the middle of a lake, and they would often swim over to the nearby shore to swim with the people. The people had grown accustomed to this, and so they never really thought anything of it. But one day, a group of teenagers decided to go swimming in the lake, and they decided to swim over to the island to see if they could find any goose eggs to steal and then eat them. The geese weren't having it though, and they attacked the swimmers, pulling them underwater and trying to gouge out their eyes. The swimmers were terrified and quickly made their way back to shore. As they were pulling themselves out of the lake, the geese followed them and continued to attack them. Eventually the geese let up, and the swimmers were able to get away, but they had to leave the lake without their stuff. Because of the commotion, they had dropped their stuff in the lake, and the geese had stolen it and hidden it under the water. The swimmers weren't injured, but they did have to spend the night at a nearby shelter, and they were very thankful that they hadn't brought anything valuable with them that the geese could have taken and used to harm them. There's another reason that you should never mess with a goose, and that's because they can carry diseases. And if you're not careful, you could contract one of those diseases and become very sick. A woman from New York learned this the hard way when she tried to feed a Canada goose that she'd seen around her neighborhood. She thought that feeding the goose would be a nice thing to do, but she didn't realize that it was rabid. When she approached the bird, it lunged at her and bit her hand. She didn't think much of it and continued on her way, but soon she started to feel very sick. She went to the hospital and soon found out that she had contracted rabies. This was a very serious situation, but thankfully she was able to make a full recovery after receiving treatment for the disease. If she hadn't sought treatment, the rabies could have spread to her brain and she could have died. So please be careful if you ever come across a wild goose, and remember that they can carry diseases that could make you very sick. After watching this video, I'm sure you agree that geese are not something that you should ever mess with. They can be very vicious if they feel that their young are being threatened. And they can also carry diseases that can make you very sick. Do you have any stories of geese gone wrong? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to subscribe and come back soon for another animal encounter. See you next time.